I'm Geoff Nemnich.
And I'm Rick Paillet.
And we're the hosts of The Last Stand. Coyote hunting is my passion.
And coyote calls are my livelihood.
And together we aim to bring you the best predator hunting tips, tricks, and tactics, right down to The Last Stand.
The Last Stand, presented by Lucky Duck Predator Calls. We are the masters of deception. Onyx Hunt. Know where you stand. Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Pulsar. Image, quality. GA Precision. Home of the precision rifle. Tricer. Seek and destroy.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Last Stand. It's day 2 in New Mexico. Still got Felipe, Cody, Dustin. We regrouped last night a little bit. We brainstormed a little bit on what we wanted to do. You know, as you saw from that previous episode, we were killing coyotes. It's just the terrain, the grass just wasn't getting us the footage we wanted.
Definitely.
So we brainstormed last night. We come up with a little bit different plan. We come to a new little place. Just from what I've seen so far, I think it's going to be a little more open. I think if the coyotes come, we're going to get some good footage, hopefully. So, still trying to get old Dustin one with the shotgun. He was dedicated. He packed that thing every stand yesterday and didn't even get to pull the trigger. So, we're going to reward you today with a shotgun coyote. Maybe more than one.
I'll take it. Hopefully all of them.
Hopefully all of them.
Got a little more cover on the hillsides at
least.
Yeah,
yesterday the knobs didn't have a lot of cover out, but. Yeah, from what I've seen so far, it's just, what are we, about 20 miles south or
something
roughly?
Like that.
So just a little small change can, in distance can make a big change in the terrain sometimes. So, yeah, we're going to get in there. It's going to be the same type of day. It's supposed to get warm, but it's warm all the time down in this country.
Definitely.
Wind's supposed to be like 5 to 10, which is going to be perfect. Hopefully it steadies out and is not swirling. But first stand, we're going to walk in here about 500 yards, kind of get up off this knob, just calling over this big valley. There's some cattle and stuff out there, so hopefully we can get her started off. So
make it happen.
Stay tuned. All right, first stand of the morning. Like I just mentioned, we walked in about 500 yards. Dropped off this little knob right here. So the sun's coming up behind us. We're going to be sitting in the shadows. Coyotes should be coming into the sun, so we should see them pretty good. Lots of gnarly ass stuff. I mean, it's super thick down in here. I mean, some of this stuff's 6-8 foot tall down here, these big mesquites and just washes and all kinds of stuff. So we jumped a couple rabbits walking into the stand, which is always a good sign down in this country where rabbits are pretty important for the survival of coyotes. So got Dustin tucked down in this little flat, Felipe and Cody over on that knob out in front of the call, and I came over here to the right just as the left-handed shooter. So I'm going to run a handful of prey distress sounds here for maybe the first 5 or 6 minutes, and then get busy with some pup distresses for like the last 6 minutes. About 7.5 minutes. Felipe just shot one. I just come out of this 6 sage. It's just might be another one. Dustin just popped up here. There's another one coming off to the left here somewhere. Yeah. You on him? I'm gonna try it. He's 480. this might have been that second coyote that came in right when I was kind of talking about Felipe shooting this first one right here. Second one kind of spooked out and he ran around out there. I thought he was looping back in, but he sat out there about 480. I could just see his head and his neck in the sagebrush, so I took a crack, but no luck. But we are on the board. I don't know how much footage we got. This sage is tall. That coyote come right out of there. This sage is so tall, we got coyotes everywhere. We're actually getting up. Luckily, we're in the shadows. I look out there about 210 yards, and there's a coyote. I can just see his head and his neck above the sage. I don't know where he was coming from, but luckily, we all had stood up, but we were still in the shadows, and the coyote just didn't see us. And we were able to get the camera on him and whack him. Well, we found him. It's like a labyrinth out here.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this sage, now I know why we couldn't see him. I mean, there's washes and just, oh man, it's crazy. But luckily, coyotes like to get some, they come up where they can see too, you know?
Perfect terrain in here for them.
Yeah. The only bad thing is, dude, it's like 200 and some yards further than what the truck is, so.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, started off with a double.
Yep.
Can't do much better than that. And we have coyotes howling here and over here. That gets me excited that we're gonna be on the X today.
Let's do it.
Everyone wants to kill more coyotes, but let's face it, most hunters don't have the time it takes to become efficient as a coyote hunter. The solution? The Last Stand Coyote class with me, Geoff Nemnich. Never before has this much coyote hunting knowledge been accumulated in one place. This master class takes my 30 years of coyote hunting experience and brings it to you in an easy to follow, simple format. Throughout the website, you'll find over 60 teaching videos, partnership discounts, never before seen Last Stand episodes from all over the country, exclusive Lucky Duck sounds from Rick Paillet, and member-only access to live Q&A sessions with myself. My simple and common sense approach to calling coyotes will not only boost your success, it can also be applied to wherever you hunt coyotes, east or west, day or night. I invite you to visit the website and see why hundreds of coyote hunters from all over the country have made this their #1 destination for killing more coyotes. All right, stand number 2. We're like I talked about in the intro. Today we're just gonna try to cherry pick spots where we can hopefully get some good footage. You know, that's the tough part in this country. If we were just like a two-man team in a contest or something, there was some great stuff that we could shotgun coyotes in, but you're just not getting great footage. And if we try those same type of stands with 6 of us, when the coyotes get in close, they end up just seeing us. These mesquites aren't crazy tall, so it's kind of hard to blend in with 6 of us. So, like I said, we're cherry picking. We found this kind of an old pond dam, dry lake bed. We have about 100 yards of openness here. It's just thick mesquites there, thick mesquites there. We did actually bump a coyote driving through a big open flat out here. So, I think they're around, but it seemed like that last stand, those coyotes were crazy about the pup distress, but they were really, liking the prey distress. So I think I'm going to probably stick with 6 minutes. There are bobcats in here too, so I'm going to stick with maybe 6 minutes of a couple different prey distress sounds, and then, maybe 6 minutes more of pup distresses. Whew. Yeah, got a little too greedy on that one. He stopped 2 different times, but he just smoked him, and he was like less than 100 yards. Thought, oh, great, we're finally getting some footage, but I don't know if he saw us. Probably did see us. We're not great, but then he was just leaving, and the straightaway shot, that is my nemesis, man. That thing was just tailing just a little bit. He went a little left when I pulled right, and in the brush he was and gone. ahead of you, so they'll come running right over the road, or they'll come running here or there. Yeah, let's do that. We'll all just pile in here. Well, we had our first blank stand of the morning. Coyotes are still howling. On that last stand, we heard probably 2 different groups of coyotes. They were just way too far to probably want to come to the call, so we just kept on the 2-track we were on. Got down in here, little pond, kind of an old little floodplain here. So we have a couple 100 yards visibility. It's pretty thick on the backside of the dam, so Dustin's set up on the shotgun up front. Calls out in front of him just in case something bails hard from the left over to the call. And then we're all covering this, kind of this whole downwind half. Guess you never know where they're gonna come from out here, but sound traveling really good right now. I mean, it's a couple mile-an-hour wind, so I'm gonna stick with the plan. I'm gonna crank a couple minutes of a couple loud prey distress sounds like Lucky Pecker and TNT. Probably a total of 5 minutes, and then roll through some loud pup distresses for another 5 minutes or so. Showed up right at the end here. Dustin's gonna shotgun him. Felipe, kill him. Nice. Coyote showed up way late. Like I had just killed the call. We'd been here, I don't know, 12 minutes. And he came in right on the corner, kind of where I was hoping they'd come into the field. I don't know, it's not really a field, but and then he just kind of made his way right down there. He got, I don't know, 20 yards from the call and kind of veered off a little bit, but Dustin was tucked into that tree. It's pretty sweet. We're back on the board.
All of us. were
Yeah,
tucked in
he
the
never,
cave.
he even looked at us, didn't think anything of
Yeah.
it. I think, honestly, some of them just don't like the decoy.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it worked out.
yeah.
You finally got your shotgun dog.
Yay.
You're lucky I was being nice.
Surprised my gun went off. It's usually when your gun just goes click.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's about 10 in the morning. Hopefully to keep maybe every other stand streak going here. Once again, just found us another pond. Got back on the backside of the dam. It's a little more open here behind, but we're just calling into a big flat out here. Tons of yellow grass, thick mesquites off on the downwind half. Got some water and, I don't know, some greasewood back over here. A little bit different vegetation than we've ran into, so I'm gonna stick with the recipe. I'm gonna play Lucky Pecker here for a couple minutes, as loud as I can. Game 4, TNT for another couple minutes, as loud as I can. Game 4, then 2 or 3 different pup distresses, maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes apiece, and then finish with some probably rabbit again at the very end. But I haven't got a good gauge yet. It seems like, I don't know if the coyotes are showing up late, that they're just taking their time, or they're coming from a long ways, but we really haven't had a coyote come sprinting in yet, so probably will sit here a little bit longer, just because there could be coyotes coming from a long ways. Right over my gun.
Woo!
Man, that coyote came late. We're 13 minutes. He's a little pup coyote, but I'm glad I ended up coming clear around where I did. We were probably kind of all scattered around this whole dam because he came from far right. Late in the stand, like I said, we went through a whole bunch of pup distresses. Started with prey, pup distresses, ended with a couple prey distress sounds. I was about ready to kill it, and I just caught a glimpse of his head coming through the mesquites out there at 250 or so.
Hold up.
Woo!
Barking, Cody.
Tell me when you're ready.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
He's running away, Felipe.
Okay, okay. Put on pup.
Woo!
Drilled him.
Good shot.
Geoff ain't the only one that hits runners around here.
Back and forth, you know. So we just killed, Felipe just shot that other one. He kind of leaped out. 15 minutes, so I think we're gonna have to sit on stand a little bit longer, you know. Sometimes it's reverse, sometimes middle part of the day they're not coming from very far. But that stand told me they're coming from a long ways, they're just not running, so it's taking them a lot longer, so as long as the wind stays just a few miles an hour like it is, I think we're gonna sit here 15 minutes because these coyotes are coming. Especially since we haven't seen anything come running really hard to a pup distress or coyote fight yet.
They're just not hungry, maybe?
Almost wonder tomorrow we come back when it's 50.
Yeah, maybe they'll be a little bit more on it for food.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. 50 really makes a difference. Well, the old afternoon didn't pan out.
No.
You know, we killed some time. I had to do some work we had to film some stuff for some marketing stuff for Lucky Duck, and you guys looked for arrowheads, but we felt like, yeah, you know, it's like 80 degrees almost, and
Yeah.
coyotes were slow, but we got back after it about 2:30, 3 o'clock. We felt like it was going to be about when the coyotes should start moving, and sometimes you just hammer them out, and it just doesn't happen, you know. I think, you know, for me, the last couple days, I want to touch on a couple points. First one is expectations, right? It's a huge part of coyote hunting, right? You know, and with this show, we plan these trips way in advance. So we get to talking, and you get, you know, anticipate everything, you know. And to me, that's part of coyote hunting too, is sometimes you set your expectations too high. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, but ultimately, you know, 5 coyote day is probably really good in the whole scheme of things, right? You know, especially when we're taking what it gives us, right? We always have to plan these trips well in advance, so we're dealing with whatever. Although the weather's been normal, I would say, down here. It's not crazy, you know. But yeah, I think that's always a huge part of coyote hunting. Is sometimes, especially in the days of the internet and social media, you see the piles, you see stuff, and at least here on the Last Stand, we give you the good, the bad, and everything in between, you know. But don't fall into the hype that every day is going to be so awesome. Some days you got to work. I felt like today, the last 2 days actually is like work. Like, I'm tired. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah.
But like, I feel like, man, we worked. I mean, we walked almost a mile in and out of that Last Stand. You know, and some days it's like that. Some days you got to work, and it's not always gravy. But I always feel like, you know, that's what makes a good coyote hunter is being persistent, right? Anybody can cherry pick the day and go out and hunt for a couple hours, and if the coyotes aren't working, you head home. You know. Yep. That's not us, man. We're out here to hunt, and when it's awesome, it's awesome, and some days it's a grind, you know. The second part of that is coyotes in general, right? This is a huge debate, like, what happened today, right? Like, we could talk all night long. Did the coyote shut off? were they just not coming from very far? I mean, I can tell you this.
Not here, yeah.
Not here. We didn't see coyotes bombing in. We haven't seen it in the last 2 days. Is that just because they're not remotivated right now? Is it because there's just not a lot of coyotes and they're not racing each other to the call like we talk about? You know, I hear this a lot. Coyotes shut off and don't come in.
Yeah.
Stuff we'll never know, right?
Who knows? Yeah.
It's all theory, right? Like you'll never know. But what I talk about, whether it's me talking on a podcast or Last Stand Coyote class stuff, is we control what we can control, right? We can control how we're moving through a property, how we're getting in and out of stands, you know, the time that we're spending on stand. Are we covering the sounds and throwing enough variety out there to maybe entice a coyote that's maybe not interested in the rabbit, but he wants the pup, or vice versa, whatever it may be. And that's all the stuff you can control. And at the end of the day, you really don't know what the coyote's going to do. You know, we never will, ultimately. So, unfortunately, if you're looking for a secret sound or what's the recipe, you know, full moon, no moon, barometric pressure, all that stuff, throw it out the window. Just hunt. You know, in the days when you do everything that we have control over, that's when we kill 15, 18, 19 coyotes, right? You've seen it. But on days like this, you know, we take what they give us, and today it was 5 coyotes, you know, so.
You wouldn't know what a good day is if you didn't have bad days.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate, days like this make you appreciate the monster days. So
it does, you know.
Just got to stay after them.
We're not done. We got one final day, and from a weather standpoint,
it's supposed to be
the last couple days have been mid to high 70s. Tomorrow's going to be about low 50s. So for us, that seems like a lot. Maybe it motivates the coyotes. Maybe they come running in. Maybe we finally get to see some stuff bombing in, but we won't know until tomorrow, and we're going to give her hell. So we're going to maybe go local. You know,
locate a little.
We're thinking about hunting over here, so tomorrow we might go do a little howling tonight to see what we think the densities are. We got another option, place farther north, an hour or so. We might go hit that, you know, but we're going to head back to town, get something to eat, and brainstorm.
Flip a coin and see where we
go.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll bring you guys, you know, another good episode tomorrow. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, you want any information about the Dying Tired hoodies, Last Stand Coyote class, any of the stuff we're using, the new Tracer RP bipods, I'm getting a lot of questions about that. Any of the new Lucky Duck 2.0 calls, any of the other stuff we're running, head to the website, tlshunt.com. You can find information there. But for now, we're out. And as always, appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you next time right here on The Last Stand.
Drilled him. Good shot.